Well, good morning, guys. We've got a new baby here this morning, so we're going to take a look at that and see what else is going on today. It's Sunday. It's looking pretty good out. We're standing in front of the barn right now, and we're going to go take a look at this baby.
Well, just for now, right now, we're just going to go ahead.
I know.
Just let him push. You need to know. You got anyone at the house?
So the baby's actually doing pretty good, and remember a couple videos back, that's Marge. This is going to be her second colt. She's doing a really good job of trying to lead that baby to back to her udders, so I guess her nipples or whatever you want to call them. Grandpa had to run a part out to Joel, and he asked me to feed the horses, so we are going to do just that. We got 2 pens over here and 1 on the other side. We'll go feed them, and we'll go back and check on that colt. What's up, Jim? What's up, Bob? How's it going? We got Chief in the back over there. Come on, girl, let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. Mark's still coming in. Hey, Jimmy. Hi, Jim. If you remember back a couple videos, maybe it was the last video, this horse over here on your right, that's the stallion we threw in there. Looks like he's lost a little bit of weight since he's been in there. Been chasing these girls around for a little bit. So, that's good. Hopefully he's got them all figured out. 1 more pen. Those horses made me realize just how crazy it is that we only have 15 left. I think it's 15. It's pretty close to that. It makes me recall the days when we had over 100 here on the farm. Part of that is due to this right here. This is a property that butts up to the farm. It's owned by the Air Force Base just north of the farm, and I guess about 6 or 7 years ago they stopped letting us rent it, and it looks okay right now, but give it a couple months and this will be grown up in weeds taller than 8 feet and small trees and stuff like that. They don't really take very good care of it. I know I'm calling them out, but it's true. But back when we had this and were allowed to rent it, it was in fescue, and we got lots of hay off of it and used it as horse pasture. Since then, they've canceled the contract due to cancer-causing agents or something like that. And there used to be a couple radio towers out there, and yeah, it was a nice property to have if you wanted to raise cattle or horses or just get hay off of it. But now that's gone, and yeah, it'd be nice to have if we were to keep if we were to have a lot of horses. It'd be almost necessary to have that much more hay ground, but since we don't need it. I thought while I was over here I'd just kind of talk about that, and because I know some people have asked before about how many horses we have or had, and at one point I remember this pasture here being full of horses. I mean, seriously, it had 100 horses here. I say horses, but that means like horses and mules. We had a donkey here a while back. We've actually had 2 here, and we bred our own mules with Belgians, and I think it was I'll ask Grandpa what that, I think he said a Mammoth Jack. We'll ask him. he'll be back over there soon. Let's go check on that Colt.
More horsepower, better start for him. The name of the baby, huh?
There you go.
When colts are born, they have a fecal plug. And you got to use an enema to get it out. And if you don't, they get a bellyache and they won't drink. If they don't drink,
Oh, God.
things are bad.
dang.
It's a little messy back here right now,
Yeah.
but that's part of the job.
Okay.
Here we go. Now we're getting.
So to all the people that are concerned about animal rights and stuff, can you ensure us that this is going to help him?
This is going to definitely help him.
Okay.
You get rid of his bellyache, and they're born with that. And colts are worse than anything else for that. But in about a minute, he's going to feel lots better. We give him his paste, full paste. We give him my vitamin B12. So he wants to nurse. It's a B12 makes him hungry. So that's what it's all about. Yeah. He's big boy. He's almost big enough to ride too.
Yeah. I guess so.
You have a little saddle on him.
Yeah.
He'd be ready to go. He's making faces already and everything.
Here we go. Now we got him sucking. It's okay, Marge. You can hear him. You can hear him swallowing too. That's good.
Come on, you assholes. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Come on, guys.
Come on, Mabel. Let's go.
Here's the stallion there. That's Cat's. Mabel's the black one. Two-Face is the one in the middle there. And here's Misty.
Go, baby. Come here.
Come on, let's go.
Stay up there. Come on. Hey, come on. Go.
Sorry if it's a little shaky.
Come on.
I'm just running with one hand right now. Come on, let's go.
Come on, cat. Get up there, buddy.
You got that gate chained up, don't you? The big one?
Yep.
Okay. You want to tell them why we're moving these ones?
No, we want to get that stallion closer to that mare that we're going to breed in about 7 days.
Okay.
And I don't want to give you the feel. I don't want to have to mess around with moving horses. So.
Cut the horse project is settled for right now. We're running around getting stuff ready to go. We've had Jake's been working the past couple weeks, maybe even a month, getting planters ready and stuff like that, and it's just been a little bit too wet. Joel's been putting on anhydrous, and now we finally got a chance to get something done. So I got Grandpa's service truck here with his trailer. We're gonna load some seed up and get to throwing some seeds in the ground. So if you're kind of scared right now because you're not used to seeing my face, I've got a little story for you. So this weekend we had a little bit of a tragedy here at the farm, and during some terrace building and dirt work, I lost my aviators. It was a very sad day. Waking up the next morning knowing that I didn't have a pair of aviators to wear just really got to me, but I'm sure I'll get a new pair here soon. But I spent 4 years with those glasses. I had a lot of memories with them, but they come and they go. So here's the field I worked yesterday. It is straight south of the dealership. We ran the McFarlane over this twice instead of field cultivating it. And I asked Grandpa about that because I was curious as well why we didn't field cultivate it. And I knew that this ground, the first 60 acres here, is very, very, very dark soil, and using the field cultivator on it tends to bring up a lot of clumps and really wet ground. So the McFarlane does a nice job of keeping everything level and just airing out the soil so we can get in there and plant it. So this field is usually in corn, but this year we're gonna run beans over it, and I've got the trailer right now with those two boxes of seed. The planter's full, and we're gonna get that down here and get Grandpa going. I'm sure you can even see the the soil change. We're on the opposite side of the field now, and it's pretty clear the soil difference from one side to the other. This isn't near as dark, but we ran this over with the McFarlane as well, and it did a pretty good job. This was also sprayed. Jake sprayed this a couple weeks ago to burn off all the weeds, and you can see here, this is where we keep our plows, our big ones anyway, and we got a couple of van trailers down here and an old barn, and you know, typical farmer things, I guess. Coming in hot, look out.
Oh, shit.
And we're off. First seeds of the year. Well, maybe.
This one here, that's the one. This one here, I got shielded over, and this one here are your vacuum motors.
Okay.
And that's why when I started to see there was dust came out of those two
Right.
motors. Each one's got its own motor. And then
Each side's got its own motor.
each motor, yeah. And the one in the middle, that's, you look back, the gauge there,
Yep.
that red needle should be on about 10. And that goes on when you drop it. That's your
Okay.
tank pressure.
Okay. To push the seeds out of the tank.
Push the seeds out of the tank and down the cotton picking tubes.
Okay.
That's what you want, all black. Okay.
And being above the center line is overpopulating it.
I got, for some reason, right hand here. And a 9.8 on this one.
Our first problem is we don't have any vacuum pressure on this side of the planter. This line here is vacuum for the right side, so the tractor knows, the computer knows that we got pressure. It's getting pinched off inside of this, there's a zip tie right in here, so we're going to cut the zip tie, stretch this hose back out so it's not pinched, and see what we got. So how long until your auto steer gets tired? It'll go all day? Wow. It's pretty impressive.
It goes all day.
No codes either.
No codes, and the battery never wears out.
Well, you gotta have some sort of recharge, like food or something, right?
Well, a ski and a bag of famous Amos cookies will take care of it.
Yeah, that usually does it. Or this morning, toaster strudel and a ski. That was
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a double bit of sugar. Then you really get that sugar.
yeah. Okay. Grandpa is well on his way to getting this field done. He's got enough seed to finish it, I believe. So, no more codes. The zip tie fix on the vacuum line worked, and we've got pounds on both sides, like 9 or 10, something like that. I've got a ham sandwich that is calling my name, and we're gonna run and grab that quick, fill up my water canister, and I gotta go check that the terraces were fixed on another field that we're gonna go field cultivate, and if they weren't fixed, then we're gonna go to a different field. So let's go check that out. Okay, looks like Zach got this figured out, smoothed out. Looks good, Zach. Good job. We'll come out here and field cultivate now. Okay, it's been a couple hours since we last talked, but I'm working 160 acres right now. It's a field we call Syberts, and I think that has to do with who originally had this property. But yeah, it's 160 acres. It's broken up into 3 pieces because of how the water flows throughout the field. I just got I'm gonna guess it's around 80 acres. It's about half the farm over there. I got that done an hour ago. Just got the smaller patch done up by the house. I wanted to knock it out. You see those guys up there? I wanted to knock that out first just because I think it's going to be after dark by the time I get this rest of this field done, and I'd rather not be up and around their house when they're trying to sleep, or maybe trying to sleep, so just trying to be considerate there. But yeah, we got about, I'm going to guess, probably 50 or 60 acres over there across this other waterway. So we're gonna knock that out, hop up in the drone here when the sun goes down, get some cool shots, and that'll be it. But we also have a stone. I smoked a pretty good stone. I'm glad I found it before the planter did, but let's get this out really quick. Okay, stone is relocated. Let's go finish this up.
I was baptized in the fountain of youth. I was scrutinized for telling the truth. There's a scandal going on around here, are reflections. Looking back in the mirror, did I mention I was losing the tooth? I got to move on. Got mountains to move, I got mountains. 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 Mountains to move, a transformation. We'll get a new look, I'm salivating. Get me off the hook, I need a martini. Without the vermouth, I gotta move on. Mountains to move, I got mountains. 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 Mountains to move, yeah. Hey. I got my business.
Okay, so you can tell we're not in the tractor anymore, we're not in the field. We have a slight issue here. This tire came off the rim, but we've got the right valve stem, so we're gonna, and the valve stem came out, so we're gonna swap that out, get this tire back mounted, and get it back on the field cultivator. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna go out there yet tonight and finish that field or not, but we'll see. Okay, I'm sure you can barely see me, but Grandpa left the field as I was getting home, and he said about a headland from being done and ran out of seed. Of course, it's usually how it goes, but he came back and we actually went ahead and threw a tube in that tire, and that got us going. We threw it back on quick, and I've got a lot to do at school this week, and I got some stuff I need to get done tonight yet, so I'm gonna leave this field, the rest of the field, for Zach. There's not a ton to do. I think it's probably 30 acres or so until that field's done, so that won't take him that long. And yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, I'll be sure to give you guys some more updates on the horse and planting season. I mean, it's about to take off here. Hopefully, it feels a little bit behind really because generally we're going pretty good by early April. Had a lot of years where we're planting April 1st, but not this year. So I'm gonna quit talking now, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
I keep to myself, I spent a fortune. My mental health, I'm down. Down in a rut, I'm down. I lost my groove, I got to move on. Got mountains to move, I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains.